What's up, everyone? Billboard Chris here in my office, out on the streets in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia. One of the most magnificent places you'll ever find in the world. Unfortunately, it's currently run by some leftists who think that maiming and sterilizing children is somehow a progressive thing to do. And I am with the three best politicians in this magnificent province of British Columbia. I have here Jordan Kealy from
Peace River North, independent NLA.
Good looking guy. Tara Armstrong.
Kelowna Lake Country Coldstream, 1BC.
1BC. And Dallas Brodie.
MLA for Vancouver Quashena and leader of 1BC.
Leader of 1BC. So, Tara, I'm going to start with you. Yesterday, you did a fantastic thing. You presented a bill. What was this bill all about?
This bill was to protect our children from all of the craziness happening in the world right now. We have to take a stand and we have to do what we can to protect our children, let them grow up normally and have a normal adulthood as they move forward in life.
So this was the Protect Children from Gender Transition Act.
It most certainly was.
Which would have stopped giving kids puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgeries. It also would have got some of this nonsense out of schools.
Yes.
And what happened yesterday is that the BC NDP wouldn't even let it get through first reading.
I know, it's crazy. You know, our protocol and precedent is that all of these bills typically will pass first reading, and they didn't allow it to go past first reading. We called division on it, and they all voted no, and along with the Greens, of course. And we had one independent also vote no, and two BC Conservatives left the House. So the unfortunate thing is that the bill did not pass first reading.
Right, the bill didn't pass. So some people will say that's a failure, but I don't think it's a failure. I think it's spectacular because what we've done yesterday is we started thousands of conversations, probably tens of thousands. We set an example for other provinces and other politicians across the country, and we made it okay to talk about this issue. Now, earlier in the day, Dallas, we had an event. Thank you to both of you for hosting me for an event inside the Legislature. It was supposed to be in the Hall of Honor, which is a bit of an open area where other people walking through the Legislature might be able to stop by and listen. But what happened at the very last hour?
At the 11th hour, after we had booked this event back on August 27th, we had the Hall of Honor booked, everything arranged, and at 4 p.m. on the day before the event, we got a letter from the Speaker's office saying that he was no longer going to let us hold it in the Hall of Honor, and we had been moved up into a room. It's a nice room, but it was up on the third floor of the Legislature.
Yeah, and it's a room that's less accessible as well for people with disabilities. But during a meeting with the Speaker, you asked a rather pertinent question. What was the basis for moving this event, and what happened there?
We were told that the basis for this decision was basically that the Speaker had to be responsible for everyone in the building, other MLAs, staff, and this was for their safety.
Safety.
So I know it's always safety in the name of to bring in tyranny or whatever. It's just like crazy. But safety was what he said, and when pushed on that, we said that doesn't seem to make sense because the Sergeant at Arms had said that he could handle this before. And when pushed, and our Chief of Staff said this does look political, he denied that and said that's not true, but it did feel political to me. It couldn't be anything else because, you know, we'd already been told that this place was able to be secured and protected by the staff that was available at the Legislature. So it was really a way of removing you from the Hall of Honor. And that to me was an act of great disrespect to you, Chris. You're a world-renowned figure. You are a champion to millions and millions of people around the world and right here in British Columbia. And it's outrageous that our legislature that's supposed to be open to everyone has them blocking people who are from a point of view that they don't like. This is what's going on here. I would never block another group from being in the Hall of Honor, even if I disagreed vehemently with their views. But this is what we're living with here in Victoria, and it's happening all the time, and it's not just you. But people need to understand, we are being governed by authoritarians here, and it's getting worse and worse. It's bad.
And let's not forget this event was actually confirmed on August 27th.
Right.
So it's not like this was a last minute notification and they just had to scramble or whatever. This was an actual event confirmed August 27th, and they didn't inform us of this change until the midnight hour.
Yeah, and the speaker said he was given information
Oh, yes.
late in the game.
Yes.
And who was it that told
Yes,
him?
okay, so that's correct. He did say he had received information that there was going to be a problem with safety. So, of course, we questioned him, being the lawyers that a bunch of us are. Well, what kind of information did you receive? I'm not going to tell you that. Oh, really? Okay. Well, can you tell us if there have been specific threats to Tara and me or to Chris? I can tell you that that was not one of the things. But so we asked again, well, what were the threats? What is the information you received? I'm not going to tell you.
Right, and the assistant, I don't know what their title is, advised him not to answer one of your questions. So, in addition to all that, the next morning, the morning of the event, literally an hour before the event was due to start, we received notice that the BC Conservative Party, John Rustad, the leader, had banned all of the Conservative politicians from attending my event. Yes, you heard that right. The BC Conservative Party banned all of the politicians from coming to my event, which was 90 minutes long, which would have educated them a lot about this child abuse scandal. But apparently, protecting kids from irreversible harm is a step too far for the Conservative Party.
Chris, you know what was really interesting, actually, I just want to add, there was actually staffers from the NDP there.
Right.
So even the NDP, it appears, didn't block their politicians or their staffers from being there.
Right, so the NDP is the New Democratic Party. They are a far-left radical party. You might as well call them the trans party, because that is in effect what they are. This is the sacred religion for them. And what virtually never happens, every bill always passes first reading. It's just etiquette. It's also a matter of basic democracy, so that they can actually figure out what's in the bill before voting on it in second reading. But they wouldn't even let that happen. Now, Jordan, you're an independent. You were also elected as a Conservative, but you left the party. Why is that?
I left the party because they pretty much lied to conservatives across the province. They were promising that they'd represent values and beliefs that would represent a lot of the rural areas across the province. And when the party became a big tent, that changed and it started to transgress, especially once we got elected and the party started to get whipped. When they pretty much kicked Dallas out, John said that he wasn't going to whip MLAs, and it proved that he was going to do that in the most extreme way possible. And I didn't agree with that, and I confronted leadership, and I asked, how is this party going to work if you're just going to whip people for expressing what they view and what their constituents want? And I got crickets back, and I said, well, why am I in this party? If you're not going to be a leader, I may as well be my own leader. And at that point there, it was pretty much when we saw Dallas get kicked out the next day after that caucus meeting, that Tara and I talked, and we decided to leave the party as well, that we thought that was completely wrong. And they've shown again that they're going to whip people in other extreme ways. We've seen another member get kicked out. We've seen people get fired from that party. This is supposed to be a house where people have a voice. It's supposed to be democracy. We saw a vote that happened. It was pretty amazing that the Conservatives didn't run away and get whipped when it came to the vote on this. But when you see numbers like that, the first introduction when they bring that bill in, it's for being able to see the bill.
That's right.
After it's introduced, and then you can see for yourself whether or not it represents what you agree with or whether or not your constituents might agree with it, and then you make an informed decision.
That's right.
The House didn't even give that a chance.
Yeah.
And I think right now it's the children are our future, and when it comes to these kind of things, I honestly believe that Canada was one of the few places where they practice eugenics, and they stopped doing that. It was banned. And I really believe that they're just doing it all over again. They brought in MAID, and they're allowing that practice to happen. And then when you see what's happening with children as well, I honestly believe that there needs to be some very serious discussion about this.
So going forward from here, I'll go back to you, Tara. You've seen a little bit out on the street how much support we're actually getting, even here in Victoria, which I would declare to be the trans capital of Canada, if not the world. But what do you think we need to do as British Columbians to finally put a stop to this child abuse?
Well, you know what, I think we just have to keep talking about it. I think we have to keep bringing up the harms that come with it. you know, we fully support adults making adult choices, but these are children and we need to protect our children. So I think we have to just keep the conversation going. We have to try and encourage other politicians and leaders in the community to talk about this very important subject. And we have to do all we can, Chris, to bring an end to it.
Yeah. Dallas, I started coming here. This was one of the first cities I came back in October of 2020. And nobody knew about this issue. You've seen a little bit what's going on out here. What's it like?
Actually, most people are being really friendly. We're getting honking horns and thumbs up and people shouting out, thank you so much, Chris. People know you, Chris. You are now in everybody's awareness, the work you've done. And people right here in Victoria go, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Billboard Chris. Thank you so much. Like, you should be amazed. Your accomplishment, one dad going out around the world. And I know you're a humble guy and everything, but I really want to give you credit where credit's due.
Well,
you've really kicked it on this one.
Thank you, but I want to use that to drive home the point. I'm an ordinary dude. I was a financial advisor, and all I've been doing is having conversations. That's it. Having calm conversations, being peaceful, taking the abuse when it comes, not letting them provoke me. But I think it is a testimony to the power of having conversations. So many people driving by, walking by, know about this issue because of these conversations that I've been having, that others have been having for years. Social media is able to accentuate this and get these conversations seen by millions. And there's this expression that politics is downstream from culture. So I think, and I know we're changing the culture.
Yes.
Eventually here in the People's House, we're going to change the politics as well. Yeah, come on in.
I've been following your Instagram. You're doing good work.
Thank you, sir.
Just want to say that. Hey guys, keep it up. Right? We can't let them win.
This is Tara and Dallas. We're fighting this hard in the legislature. All three of us are sitting in the ledge, and we're taking on the issues that neither of the other parties will even touch with the barge pole. I know. They won't touch it. They think it's politically risky. But you know what? We're not here to avoid risk. We're here to speak about issues that are on people's minds.
Kids deserve better.
Yeah.
You guys are doing the good
Kids
work.
do deserve better, and we have to lead them. These kids can't fix themselves. They're little kids. It's up to us grown-ups.
Solutions too, guys, at some point.
We're coming
That's
with solutions. You got it.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
So this is what it's like. So virtually every man supports me, to be honest. Every man over the age of 20 for sure. All the young men pretty much support me as well. I do get some pushback sometimes from the gay community. They're pretty split. But we get overwhelming support. And yet you walk into Parliament here and they treat you like they're a Nazi. We had Selena Robinson, who was a former NDP MLA, yesterday on Twitter, or X, stating that the reason this bill didn't pass first reading is because it violates the Charter of Human Rights and Freedoms. So I asked her, Selena, what part of our Constitution, our Charter, is it violating? Because I didn't realize it was a Charter right to cut off the breasts of 14-year-olds, to sterilize kids, and to turn them into anorgasmic lifelong pharmaceutical patients. Jordan, are you aware of how we're violating the Charter with that bill?
I think it's wrong with how far gone our politics have gone. It sickens me, and if you asked me 5 years ago if I was ever going to be a politician, I wouldn't be. I'm a farmer and mechanic.
Yeah.
It's how our system has gone completely wrong that I actually decided to get into politics to try and make a difference. And I think this is just another scenario that we have to try and tackle. The key issue in my region right now where people are dying is a healthcare system. And that's why I'm here. And that's why Dallas and Tara here stand strong, have courage. Same with you, to have courage to be able to do this, no matter who's around you.
Yeah.
And mobbing you.
We're all just normal people who had real jobs.
Yeah, we did actually.
You know what, I want to say something.
Yeah.
The world is insane if this takes courage to do this.
That's right.
Yes.
The world is insane if this takes courage to wear a sign like this. I mean, this is the most obvious statement of the world.
Right.
And people are taking offense to this sign and saying that Tara and I are the radicals. I mean, this is how crazy it's gotten. So our hope is to make BC a bit more normal again and get back to saying this is normal. It's not okay. These little kids need protection, and there are other ways to help them with their mental health issues or whatever other little struggles they're having in their puberty years, which are common, right?
Yeah, and I should add, these are mental health struggles that adults are giving them.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree.
Because a child would never have the idea that they were born in the wrong body.
No, never.
Unless some adult or someone in the culture put that idea in their head in the first place. And the funny thing about this, your sign especially, is if you ask any of these trans activists What does it mean to be born in the wrong body? Nobody can tell you. Do you know why? Because there's no such thing. This is the realm of fantasy. And if you ask them what it means for a girl to be a boy, nobody can tell you. They can't define what it means to be trans, because this whole thing is made up. And the positive message we should be sending is that children are beautiful just as they are. No drugs or scalpels
are
needed. Boom.
No drugs, no scalpels.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Chris.
Stay tuned for some more conversations.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out, Jordan.
You
Appreciate
betcha.
you.
Thank you for having me.
Put you on the spot there.